Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We are in the bottom of the ninth. Our Cincinnati Redlegs find themselves on the wrong side of a 6-4 score here. A game that the Reds led 4-1 at one point, or actually, I think they were 4-1 at one point in time. And if you've been following along all day, it's been a little bit of a struggle for some ungodly reason. A righty versus a righty, and Santiago Espinal leads off the bottom of the ninth, and all you need is base running. But another questionable decision here to start the bottom of the ninth. So always fun. Oh my goodness! And he quickly goes down 0-1. So we'll see how this rolls. But it's been a day where you're coming off the high of last night, and you wondered if the emotions could carry through. And it seemed like all things were still full steam ahead, and we might be looking at an actually good baseball team. And then, a couple of missed opportunities, some questionable strike calls, and all of a sudden, it's the Padres have had the opportunity to hang around in the bullpen that has been pretty decent all year long is now in a situation where there's been several blown leads and not being able to hold guys over the last couple of weeks as Espinal goes down on 3 pitches.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
That's a terrible at bat. That's just a terrible at bat in that situation. This is their closer Suarez, who was not available last night, as he was. This is the same guy that plunked Shohei after they hit Fernando Tatis for the second time. He's got some gas. He rips a 4-seamer at 97 on the outer half to TJ Friedel. But no, it sucks, man. I wanted today to go smoothly. I was thinking 4-1. I thought Andrew Abbott was settling in. I thought we were going to get 6 out of him. And we'll talk about it a little bit more on the other half of this. But it's one of those things that there were some missed opportunities compounded where you get a lineup that hits up and down, but nobody hits for extra bases. And it's going to be tough. So. We'll have to start looking for that deep drive of the game from somewhere. Hopefully somebody gets on and we get it here.
Yeah, not a whole lot to choose from as far as that's concerned tonight. After we had Spencer Steer gave us a plethora last night.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
Yeah.
We hit the ball well. Like I said, you got a team that's,
put up good contact.
Yeah. Putting up, or you got 10 hits as a team. Friedel hanging in. Chat, great to see everybody. Welcome in on a Saturday afternoon. Getting towards Saturday evening here as we're at 7 o'clock. If you like and share the stream, gets us an opportunity to reach out to a few more Reds fans here. Should be a lot of fun tonight. Regardless of what the outcome is, we got Nick Lodolo going tomorrow for our Reds, and so you've got a chance to win this series. It's one of those things that you're going to find the grit and opportunity of this team. So you're a base runner and an opportunity away to kind of put this thing away. As TJ Friedel runs account full.
Let's get a bloop and a blast and tie this thing up. Just put somebody on.
Oh, man. It'd be a fun little stream to get started with one of those.
You ain't kidding. Especially after we thought we were in for something special last night. Jumped on
early. We sat around and waited on it. Intentionally came on early to see if we could get Spencer Steer willed to 4 home runs in a game. But not so much. And then Nick Martinez's no-hit bid goes out the window. Right. What'd you think of the play off the wall after seeing it today on Twitter? Should Vlade have made an attempt?
I don't think so, man. It's hard for me.
There it is. That was our base runner, baby. That's a TJ Friedel walk. We got one on.
We're
here comes Matty McClain, who's already got a couple hits to his name today. Matt comes up 2 for 4. He is facing a hard-throwing righty, so it's going to be a little tough. But you're also going to get left-handed Ellie with a chance to tie this thing up as long as Matt doesn't hit into a double play here.
Yep. He's not hitting a double play here. You got to put one in the gap.
Yeah, I did. I may have just given us the kiss of death, and so Chad, apologies, but that could have been a rough way to introduce what the opportunities were here. Oh, Matty got a pitch to hit in the top of the zone, just fouls it off to the right-hand side, a little bit behind.
Let's see. It
looked like he was trying to go the other way, though. I like it when he's doing that.
Ain't that the truth? When he's hitting the ball to the right side of the field and going that way with the outside pitch, we're getting the best out of Matt.
Well, it seems like it's where he's gone for his average. If that's what he's not hit for power a ton here lately, but he shot the ball through the right side, and that's where a lot of his productions come from here lately. Oh, the 0-1 pitch.
Man. Stay hot.
Oh, he drives one out to right field. Oh, man. A little bit more behind that and maybe a chance, but he flies out to just in front of the warning track to Fernando Tatis, and that's 2 outs for your Red Legs, and that brings our boy up. Here comes 44, who's hitless on the day.
Come on,
with an opportunity to tie this thing up. He does have a base on ball, so he's reached. So he needs to be patient here. He's jumped at a couple first pitches with some runners in scoring position. Hasn't quite delivered. So curious to see what the approach is here for Ellie, as they probably try to throw him away, if I had to guess.
I love the dude with the rally cap on screaming, "Let's go, Ellie!"
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Get on your feet. It's go time.
Come on.
Ball away. There we go.
Come on now. Get you a fastball, put it in the river.
Friedel gets a decent lead off of first base. Not a ton of a hold on.
Come on.
Oh, good hold. I'm telling you what, we're going to figure out this home plate umpire's name. His name is Sean Barber. He's been absolutely garbage today. Garbage. A little bit both ways, but primarily against the Cincinnati Reds. There's a few strikeouts and a few key pitches that extended innings on Abbott. And there was a key at bat against Tyler Stevenson that had a chance to, get him
3-0.
Yeah, had a chance to get Tyler Stevenson an opportunity to hit with runners in scoring position, and he rung him up. That was absolutely just BS, man. It was a terrible call. So Ellie's 3-0. You giving him a green light here?
Absolutely. You're getting a fastball.
He got a fastball. It was still below the zone. He swung at ball 4, and that's 3-1 now.
Oh. Okay, maybe not so much green light now in hindsight.
You do have Gavin Lux, another lefty, due up after this, or you would have Gavin Lux, but you pinch hit Austin Hayes for him last time through against the lefty. And so now that's ball 4 to Ellie. We are a swing of the bat from Mr. Austin Hayes away from winning this.
Being a hero. Come on,
baby.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go.
Everybody's on their feet. They're going out to talk to the pitcher.
Yes, sir.
Let him know, like, hey, man. Oh, no, hell, this is Spencer Steer. I'm sorry. I've got my eyes are bad. I'm reading my box score wrong. I got my lineup wrong. Mr. Hero of the night last evening. Can he get his 10th of the year right here and send everybody home happy and have a hell of a weekend here, Spencer Steer? Come on, baby. Lay into one.
Come on, bud.
This would be fun. The guy's bringing heat. Spencer can, as long as he can catch up to it, he'll be all right.
Come on, Spence. The hero from last night, be the hero tonight.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Come on, buddy.
Now meeting's over. We're going back into it. You got runners on first and second, 2 outs. Your Reds are down 6-4. Our 3-run home run champion of the evening last night is Spencer Steer. Due up. He's 1 for 4 today. Does have a hard hit ball that went through the left side early in the game. And we're going to see what he can do here. Is he going to challenge him?
Come on, Spence. Come on, 7.
Oh, he looks middle fastball 97 right down Broadway. Ho.
Youch.
Man, I
wonder what
thought
he's
he'd be
looking
jumping
for.
at first pitch there, but I guess after walking Ellie, it doesn't look like Suarez wanted anything to do with Ellie. So you got an 0-1 count. Suarez comes set. Oh, and it's up above the zone, and he takes a rip and 100-mile-an-hour four-seamer that, man.
That hurts.
That's rough. Now he's down 0-2, and he's at his disposal here. He can go into his bag a little bit.
At the pitcher's mercy. Come on, Spence. Turn these frowns upside down, baby. Let's go.
All right, didn't chase that one. Same pitch he swung at for strike two. He leaves up there for an outside 1-2 count. Just to the bleachers. I'm not asking for off the scoreboard. I just want one to the bleachers.
Yeah, give me one of those GABP specials.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Come on, kid.
Ball two. Ball two's up. Come on. Come on, Spencer. Get it going.
Paddling right back to it.
Oh, man. Let's go. Oh, this would be a wild moment.
Come on, kid.
Come on, Spencer. Oh, top of the zone would have been strike three. Fastball by him at 100-mile-an-hour. And your Red Legs lose a ball game 6-4. We will be back on the other half, on the other side of a minute and 30-second break. We hope to tune in for it. We'll give you a post-game recap, get everything through here, talk about what happened and what transpired today. Thank you so much for joining us live here in the ninth. We'll see you in a few.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the wall, Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Reds win! Line to right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to a career of Jay Bruce.
Hey, welcome back to another edition of Chatterbox Reds. Thanks for joining us. I'm Corey Phillips here with the other half of the Phillips brothers duo, Eric Phillips. Thanks for joining us here on Chatterbox Reds, your daily home for everything Cincinnati Reds baseball. Rough one tonight, Eric. We had a little bit of good momentum going there, got to the lead early, and then kind of fell off on the back end of the bullpen there. Scotty Barlow and Leon Richardson kind of let us down after they've been having a good couple outings, and ended up being not a good night at the ballpark. But you got a little box score recap, man. Kind of let everybody know what happened tonight.
Yeah, we can actually get right into it. What was supposed to be a 4:10 first pitch ended up being 4:15 as the ceremonies celebrating the Big Red Machine, the 50th anniversary of the 1975 team, ran just a touch long. So we were about 5 minutes late getting started. But Andrew Abbott versus Randy Vasquez and home plate umpire Sean Barber. That is foreshadowing for events that happen later in the game. In the top of the first, Manny Machado does get a base hit, but Andrew Abbott works around it. And in the bottom of the first, the Reds get started. TJ Friedel walks. He's promptly picked off and from first base as he tries to time up what Vasquez had going on and was able to get picked off there. But then that's followed by a Matt McClain single, a Spencer Steer single, sends Matt to third base. You've got runners on first and third with one out, and a Gavin Lux RBI single makes it 1-0 Reds. A Tyler Stevenson strikeout on a ball that was a good 4 inches off the plate and then also elevated. It gives Tyler Stevenson a backwards K in a situation where he had an opportunity to pile on in the bottom of the first, and we don't get a chance to do so because Sean Barber's a moron. So that takes us down to the top of the second. a Gavin Sheets double is being able to work around as long as or as well as a Jake Cronenworth walk. But Abbott gets out of the second unscathed. In the bottom of the second, Reese Hines hits a ball hard and with a leadoff single. Santiago Espinal single sends Reese Hines to third base, and a TJ Friedel single makes it 2-0 Reds. Matt McClain then singles, making it 3-0 Reds. And then things would move along. By the top of the third, Andrew Abbott retires the side, and he finishes the third at 49 pitches. And so you feel like he's on pace to be able to, go a little bit deeper into a ball game. And that gets us then to the top of the fourth, where he runs into a little bit of trouble. A Bogart single and a Gavin Sheets double on a misplayed ball by Reese Hines in right field extended that inning beyond what it needed to be. And then Jose Iglesias walked to load the bases with one out. Jake Cronenworth fly out to Will Benson, and Will Benson's increased arm and the ball coming in was able to hold the runners. And then Maldonado ground out ends the threat on a really nice diving play by Matt McClain, and it keeps it at that 3-0 Redlegs score. Moving on into the bottom of the fourth, the Reds go quietly after a TJ Friedel 2-out bloop single. But in the top of the fifth, Luis Arias hits the first of a couple of bombs that these guys put together today from the Padres side, as Luis Arias hit his fourth home run of the year, a no doubter, about 3/4 of the way up the sun deck in right field. That made it 3-1 Redlegs. Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis then single. Xander Bogart strikes out, and then Gavin Sheets grounds out to end the threat. But at the top of the fifth, it's still 3-1 Reds. That would finish Andrew Abbott's day. He only made it 5 innings with 7 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 earned run, and he finishes the game with a 1.79 ERA. In the bottom of the fifth, Ellie would walk. Spencer Steer then pops out. Manny Machado playing third base actually lets that ball drop and throws Ellie out at second base rather than letting him be the runner that's sitting on first. So now you swapped Ellie on first for Spencer Steer at first. So technically, I believe it's a fielder's choice. But then Gavin Lux doubles on a ball into the gap that Ellie probably would have scored on, but Spencer Steer does not. All that's for naught as Tyler Stevenson comes to the plate and hits a sacrifice fly and makes it 4-1 Reds. Reese Hines singled on a ball, but there was a great diving play by Gavin Sheets to end the threat. Looked like it was something that could have been extra bases, another opportunity to kind of add to the lead. That definitely would have scored at least one, but it was not to be, and we end the bottom of the fifth at 4-1. And the top of the sixth, that's when trouble stirs for the Reds. Scott Barlow comes in to replace Andrew Abbott after a Jose Iglesias single. Jake Cronenworth hits a monster shot, again, about 3/4 of the way up the sun deck in right field, and that made it 4-3 Redlegs. In the bottom of the sixth, Will Benson has a leadoff single to opposite field. Great for him. It's great to see him pushing the ball the other way. And then a hit and run was basically a swinging bunt by Espinal, but we would strand Will Benson at second base. Another missed opportunity with runners in scoring position. In the top of the seventh, Scott Barlow gives way to Lyon Richardson. Jackson Merrill has a leadoff double, and Tatis has a sac fly that moves him to third base. You're thinking runner on third. They're probably going to tie the game up here. Xander Bogart's walk then leads to the big blow of the game that ends up deciding it, and that's Gavin Sheets with a 3-run home run, his third extra base hit of the day, and that made it 6-4 Padres. Once that was done, Lyon Richardson would retire the next batter that he saw. That made it 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh, but then Brent Suter came in where he would throw 1.1 innings of relief effort, not give up a run, only gave up 1 hit, but the damage had been done, and at 6-4, it went very quietly until the bottom of the ninth when the Redlegs were able to get TJ Friedel and Ellie De La Cruz aboard. But a strikeout from Matt McClain ends the game, and a strikeout from Spencer Steer ends the game, where one swing of the bat could have sent us home happy in a 7-6 score. Instead, it does end up 6-4. Your Reds lose this one, and we move to 43-40 on the year. And you've got the guy that I've talked about that needs to step up and be a leader in the second half of this season. We need to figure something out in Nick Lodolo, because there's a series up for grabs that feels very, very important. And tomorrow feels like the most important Sunday we've had all season long.
It definitely feels like the most important start for Lodolo. I mean, he was penciled in as our number 2 starter and really hasn't, not that he hasn't lived up to it, but Andrew Abbott just shined so much. He's kind of moved into the number 2 starter spot, and it's right now our ace with Hunter Green being hurt. So now's the time we need Lodolo to step up after we have a big bullpen letdown. I mean, Abbott obviously didn't have his best stuff today. Was still able to grind through it, kept us in the ball game, only gives up 1 run through 5. So, I mean, that's a solid performance. Just, you can ask for. I mean, you obviously want him to go a little bit deeper, but he was still able to grind through it, still able to find a way. But the bullpen letdown right there is it's an absolute dagger. So we need it from Lodolo tomorrow. Be that number 2 starter we've signed you to be, and give us one of those performances we've been looking for all year long. But as far as our DSC deep drive of the day, there really wasn't much to choose from after we had a lot to choose from last night. Spencer Steer gave us 3 different options. So as far as hard hit balls, I've got Gavin Lux's double in the bottom of the 5th inning was our hardest hit ball, 101.4 miles an hour off the bat, went 291 feet for our DSC deep drive of the day. Our deep drive of the day is sponsored by Deep South Commodities. DSC is a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. And thanks as always to our friends at DSC. I felt like the offense the offense grinded it out. We were getting
you get 10 hits today. You get 10
Right.
hits, but I mean, you have 1 extra base hit in Gavin Lux's double. I mean, that's the only time that you reach past first base. And, there were some walks there, and Vasquez kind of, he battled a little bit and kind of extended the game. And then that Padres bullpen got a hold of us. Their bullpen is one of the top 5 in baseball, and then they've been so for quite a time here. But I think with the opportunities that were missed early, and it's weird because I don't know that you realize you missed them at the time, but like TJ Friedel getting picked off early in an inning that turned into a big inning. That's an inning where you have a walk and 4 hits and you only score a run. Like that's a problem. Like that should have been 2-3 runs, but instead it ends short because we make another base running mistake. When Tyler Stevenson gets the backwards K, that's a big issue because that's that zone. And Sean Barber, I'm gonna put his name out there again. That dude was absolutely he was Angel Hernandez light back there today. The ball, you couldn't figure it out. It was arm side off. He would call for a strike, and then for the left-hander, it was arm side off that he would call for a ball. But then he'd jam. I think Jose Iglesias got a ball that had 2 baseballs inside, almost hit him in the hands that he calls for a strike. So it was a little bit both ways, but that strikeout to Stevenson felt like a really big spot, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the umpire report tomorrow in terms of how the game flipped on a few of those strike calls, because it really made some terrible decisions from behind home plate that impacted, it seemed like, the Reds in some pretty significant spots that led to some unfortunate results where we weren't able to play the add-on that we wanted to.
Well, that's where it makes it hard to beat both teams. I mean, when you're not getting some of the calls behind the plate, and it ruins the momentum like it did in the first inning with Tyler Stevenson, it just makes it hard to get anything going. But sometimes you have your ups and you have your downs, and if you're ever feeling down, we always want to remind you that you can call or text 988 anytime, day or night. The 988 Suicide Crisis Hotline is a place to get support for anything related to mental health, whether it's an immediate crisis, simply wanting to find a way to connect with care, or anything in between. 988 is a 100% confidential, secure, and anonymous way to reach out for help when you don't know where else to turn. To connect, call or text 988 or visit mantherapy.org to get help. It's okay not to be okay. We were kind of riding a high last night and kind of forgot to slip that one in there, so I figured I better get that one in there today after the bullpen letdown, in case anybody's feeling a little low from it.
And we may read it going away too, just to give those guys the credit, because we do need to remember 988, not just in the good times, but in the bad. You never know what anybody's going through. And so kudos to those guys. You get 5 2/3 inning from that San Diego bullpen of trying to look at the hits, 1 hit baseball up from them. So after we were able to chase Vasquez, we got 1 hit after that, and they go 5 2/3 of no runs. I mean, that's a dominant bullpen, and that's what it can do for you. And that's what you hope to have when you have a starting rotation that's struggling. But we're at a spot right now where we don't know who's carrying the water. Last night it was Nick Martinez. It's been Andrew Abbott. Somebody's got to carry the water for this team on a day in and day out basis. And the luxury is that we have it. It can come from other places. It doesn't always have to be the staff. It doesn't always have to be the relievers. It can sometimes be the bats that carry you to a big win. But tonight you needed your bullpen to kind of extend things. You handed them a pretty good plate in 4-1, but having that thing kind of go away, and it just didn't go away. It went away quickly. But do you second guess Tito at all in the relievers that he used? Because I don't feel like I did at the time. Scott Barlow, it seemed like the right decision there, because Abbott only gives you 5. He ends the third with 49 pitches, and he still only gives you 5. So he runs himself out of pitches. I think he ended up at 93 is where he was. And so after that inning, could he have come back out? Maybe. But you're coming out, a complete game a couple weeks ago, a guy that's not been able to make it down the stretch. You got to save him a little bit. And it's one more inning probably gives that length to where you get to Santillan and Pagan rather than Lyon Richardson and Scott Barlow. But the way that these dudes have been throwing, you got to give high leverage situations. We talked about it last night. Like I don't second guess. How about you?
I don't second guess him at all. I think our lack of having a left-hander in the another left-hander in the bullpen besides Taylor Rogers is starting to rear its ugly head. Suter, obviously, we always have Suter, and we can always use him in a pinch. But just not having a dominant left-handed arm to solidify a couple outs, you know what I mean? Because we always seem to use Suter more as a bridge guy or more as a long innings guy when we need him, that sort of stuff. Not having that dominant left-hander coming out of the pen definitely hurts. But I don't second guess the moves that he made. Lyon Richardson hasn't given up a run in his last 3 outings. Scotty Barlow in his last 2. You know what I mean? So I mean, they've been throwing well. You got to kind of go to it. Not having Graham Ashcraft right there definitely hurts. But you got to deal with the hand you're dealt with. And the bullpen's hasn't been bad at all. Honestly, we've been able to ride the bullpen pretty well here lately. But
the one silver lining that comes out of tonight is Ian Jabot sees time, Brent Suter sees time, Lyon and Scott Barlow see time. You've got now Emilio Pagan hasn't thrown since Monday. You're almost a week of giving Emilio Pagan the opportunity to rest, and Tony Santillan hasn't thrown since Tuesday. So what looked like a terrible situation after the game on Tuesday when we used everybody is now turning into hopefully what could be a strength as we, go into this next little stretch, because right after this, we're in Boston, to start the series on Monday. We go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then we have an off day Thursday. So you could theoretically go Santillan Pagan the next 3 days and not worry about it because they've had a significant time off before and they'll have the opportunity to have a day off on Thursday. So I like where we're at from an innings usage standpoint. I haven't checked to see if he's still a league leader in appearances in Tony Santillan, but at least you do have that coming out of this game where the game was decided on the other side, pretty significantly. A 2-run leads, is not a spot where you put Tony Santillan, or a 2-run deficit's not where you put Tony Santillan into the ball game. But somebody mentioned it just a minute ago in the chat, and it's 100%. It's something that can't be ignored. The lack of a left-handed reliever that can come in and get outs is embarrassing. Taylor Rogers is the worst $6 million that this team spent. And I'm talking about they've spent more than that on to let Jamer Candelario probably go play for somebody else. However much you paid Jamer, it's not as bad as the money that you paid Taylor Rogers. The inability to have somebody come in and get Cronenworth and to get Sheets and to get some of these big lefties that are in the lineup today, that's inexcusable. That wet blanket ruined a great time for us last night, and then he absolutely pisses on it by not being able to do his job to the point that Tito could trust him tonight. I'm not sure why he's here if he's out there. He's just a left-handed garbage time kid now. Like him and Brent Suter have flipped spots. And nobody saw that coming, but you also don't use Brent Suter in a high leverage situation. But he does come in and, again, gives you good work. It's an inning and a third of no run, 1-hit baseball. He comes in, works quickly, keeps your team in it in a spot where, you have an opportunity there in the ninth. You've got one swing of the bat away from sending us all home happy. So I think the idea of going out and getting a left-hander has gone from a nice to have to it. It's if you don't go get it, we're going to see more nights like tonight on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I mean, it's starting to rear its ugly head, whether we like it or not. We're going to have. I mean, Sam. I've seen people in the chat talk about Sam Moll, and Sam Moll's not throwing the ball well in AAA either. So if you're not going to, like we said last night, if you're not going to do it well in AAA, hard to give a guy a shot in the majors. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm looking at the trade deadline. Go add another arm to our bullpen so we can at least solidify it a little bit and get some of these guys help down the backstretch. But like you were talking about, having a healthy Santillan or a rested Santillan and a rested Pagan, sounds like 7 out of Lodolo, Santillan in the 8th, Pagan in the 9th to me tomorrow. So let's try to make that happen. Let's will that into a thing and get a series win and get this bad taste out of our mouth.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly what the doctor needs. I mean, that's what needs to be on deck here. We need to have an outing from Nick Lodolo that is he solidifies himself as he needs to be here. Like he wants that. You can either be a part of this team or you can just kind of be a once every 5 days guy. Like, and I know that sounds weird, but Nick Lodolo to me hasn't contributed as well as he should, as well as he could. Like I expect more out of him. I feel like tomorrow is. I don't want to be cliche. Tomorrow feels like the biggest start in Nick Lodolo's career. Like he's healthy for the first time this far into the season without having IL stints. He's got a team that can hit the ball pretty well. They've got some left-handed bats that absolutely blew you up today, and Cronenworth and Gavin Sheets. But I think you can neutralize those guys, come in, give a dominant performance. You saw what happens when you attack the zone. They started to swing first pitch early, so it'll be interesting to see what the game plan that him and Derek Johnson and I would assume Jose Trevino come up with going into tomorrow. But I'm really excited to see Nick pitch. I'll be down there tomorrow, and I'm pumped up to see what this could be, because if he can solidify himself, and you've now got heroic efforts from Abbott, heroic efforts from Martinez, Brady Singer's given you gutsy performances. Hunter Green's been the best pitcher in baseball for weeks at a time. And you've got Nick Lodolo, who can come in and it's not a stopper because you're not on a slide, but if he can be the shot in the arm that gives this team the chance to win, and we go out and win a ball game 3-1 tomorrow, that feels like the biggest win of the year before we even get there. Like a win tomorrow in any way, shape, or form is massive for what this team can continue to do. A loss tomorrow puts you 2 games above 500 and about 4 games back. And tomorrow feels like a buyer or seller game. If you win, you're buying. If you lose, you're not. It's not all on tomorrow. But if you lose, you feel more like a seller going into Monday in Boston.
Right, you got a lot of eggs in tomorrow's basket. That's for dang sure. But
I really do. This was a massive series. This is
right.
a massive series.
Oh, it absolutely is. And as far as momentum is concerned, you obviously want to get that second or get that win from the Padres when you're chasing them in the wild card series. But in Lodolo's defense, I mean, the guy's got what, a 3.63 ERA. So I mean, he's not terrible. It's not off the charts. And in his last couple outings, we got 6 innings and 2 runs. I got 4.1 with only 1 run. So, I mean, he's keeping us in the ball games, even when he's not having his best stuff. He's battling through. I don't think we've seen the best Nick Lodolo yet. I don't think we've seen Nick Lodolo with all his pitches working and his gas working and being able to pinpoint. So I agree with you. We do need a better Nick Lodolo, but I'm not ready to jump off the bandwagon yet with Lodolo. But he's proven to me that he's more of a pitcher. When he doesn't have his best stuff, he's still able to grind through it, still able to get the big outs when he needs to. So we just need a big Lodolo performance tomorrow. I don't disagree with you at all. But by the same token, Lodolo's kind of been there. He's been the bridge when we needed to. Has he been a number 2 starter? No, not necessarily. Do we need him to be? We absolutely need him to be tomorrow.
We don't need serviceable Nick Lodolo. We need dominant Nick Lodolo.
You're right.
Like there's an elevated difference there. Like Hunter Green's gone. Everybody looks at you. If you pick it out at the beginning of the season, it has to be him. I think in our preseason shows and things like that, you had said if he goes, we go. And I think he's got an opportunity tomorrow against a team that will swing and miss a little bit. I think he can run his strikeouts up the same way Martinez did against them. I think that not Martinez. Nick Martinez did last night. I think there's a legitimate opportunity that the best start of Nick Lodolo's career comes tomorrow, because just the way that these guys approach things, hopefully he can keep them off balance. If he throws strikes, anything's possible. But you'll keep some of those left-handed bats at bay. Keep Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado, and others away from killing you, and you're going to be able to get up and down this thing. And hopefully these guys come out and mash, because we've got another starter tomorrow that has, I believe, a +4 ERA, if I'm not mistaken. So it's one of those things that you need it. You absolutely have to have it tomorrow. When we take a look at the standings, after today, we go wild card hunting. Your National League wild card. We're now, the Padres are back into a wild card spot at 45-37, and the Reds are at 43 and 42.5 back of a wild card spot. You can go to 3.5, or you can make this thing 1.5 tomorrow. And that's your futures right in front of you. You have to win ball games like tomorrow. This feels like a vengeance opportunity. Remember the San Francisco series where we thought, man, if we win that, we win the entire series, and that gives us the season series tie, and we're to end up in a tie with them towards the end of the season, and we kind of pissed that game away. Right. This feels like a reckoning of understand what's up for grabs. But this is what playing meaningful baseball is. I think we mentioned it about a month ago where you and I were on here, and I said, I want meaningful baseball as deep into the year as possible, because I want to know, how does Spencer Steer act in those moments? How does Ellie De La Cruz act in those moments? How does Matt McClain act in those moments? Because you don't know. If you've got guys that, fold like a cheap suit going down the stretch in games that matter, then you're not built for any kind of success that would be worth a damn anyway. But tomorrow, you've got a chance to go out and win a ball game that feels important. Is the season over if we lose? No, absolutely not. But is it a big shot in the arm and the first test of many that these guys are going to see throughout the rest of the year? I really think so.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, we're gonna have to beat the likes of the Padres and the Giants and everybody else that's ahead of us, and letting that Giants series get away from us definitely stings a little bit. And this definitely could be a reckoning point, like you say, and could springboard us right into what's going to be a big series going to Boston. I mean, that's always a battle. I'm glad not to have to see Rafael Devers in that one, to be completely honest with you. But
Yeah,
before we get too far ahead of ourselves, um, I'm looking forward to a good day at the ballpark tomorrow. Let's get out and get after it and be loud in the stands and cheer our boys on to a victory, because we're going to need this one, and it's going to catapult us into hopefully what's going to be a good back half of the season. So
yeah, no, and then to say we're like I said, we're in the second half of the season. I think 2 games ago was the actual midway point. So you've got 80 games left to make this thing happen, and the urgency feels bigger for the Cincinnati Reds than it does for other teams at this point in the season, because you're in a spot where you don't know if you're buying or selling. The future of this team dictates what happens at this trade deadline. If you have these guys and you have some guys that are starting to develop on the minor league level, do you make a couple of all in, not necessarily all in, but do you move some pieces around so that the 2025 Cincinnati Reds have a shot to make a run? Or do you sit back and make it one more year? Oh, maybe next year, and you flirt around 500. You're not 81 wins isn't going to win this thing. 81 is not going to do it. You can't flirt with 500. You got to be chasing 90 in order for this thing to be realistic. Now, if we tonight, it feels like a punch in the gut after the high emotions of Friday night. But if you win tomorrow, it's 2 out of 3. That's 5 out of the last 6 series, and it feels like things are going in the right direction. If not, it's losing 2 series in a row. And it's trying to figure out, where do you go from here in terms of, you can go get a left-handed pin, but at what cost? You can go get a left-handed arm for the pin, but at what cost? Do you go find another bat now that Jake Fraley's gone, so that you have something off the bench with a little bit of pop to beat these left-handed pitchers that you're going to see? Like, there's just so many questions that have to be asked, and those answers don't wait until the end of the season. Those answers come on August 1st at the trade deadline. Like, we've got 1 month of baseball to get this thing right, to present yourselves to Nick Kroll and the Castellinis and say, hey, we're ready to go do this now. We just need a little bit of this and that in order to get us there. Can you help us out? Give them the best opportunity to be successful. If you're losing tomorrow, that's a strike against you in terms of what this team needs and what can actually turn things around.
Yep, go get it tomorrow, because I really honestly I don't believe that Kroll and the boys brought Tito Francona in here to be a seller and try to do a rebuild and the whole 9 yards. I really feel like we're in now. The Chase Burns being called up early really kind of got me going as far as I think we're in win now mode. So let's win tomorrow. Let's alleviate all doubt. Let's go get it done. Find us a left-handed reliever, maybe add us a stick for some depth, and get going. Let's keep riding the high we were on last night. Nothing brings you back down like a loss, and nothing picks you back up like a win. So let's get this next win and let's keep going.
Yeah, and I'm excited as could be for it. I think today we've talked about, kind of what happened. For those that are just joining us, this was a 6-4 ball game where the Reds lose to the Padres. You're in a game where you're up 4-1. Andrew Abbott leaves the game after running his pitch count up through 5 innings. Scott Barlow comes in the 6th, gives up 2 runs, makes it 4-3. Lyon Richardson then comes in the 7th, gets to 2 outs, gives up a walk, and then gives up a 3-run bomb. We're 1 swing of the bat from still being up 4-3. Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of this one today. I still believe in Lyon. I still believe in Scott Barlow. I still believe that a left-handed reliever would have been a better choice in one of those spots after Lyon had kind of, put a couple of guys on, and you had some power lefties that ended up being the reason why you get killed today. All 3 home runs hit by left-handed guys today. The lack of Taylor Rogers' opportunity and success this year has absolutely killed this team. It's going to continue to kill this team until they go out and get it right. But with all that being said, we know what happened today. It's an unfortunate 6-4. Tell us what's going on tomorrow, Corey T. Tell me what we've got lined up.
Tomorrow we've got your boy Nick Lodolo and what Eric is dubbing the biggest start of his career up to this point. Your next start's always your biggest start, so let's get one for Nick. We got a 1:40 start time tomorrow, so get to the ballpark a little bit early. Nick Lodolo, he is 5-5 with a 3.63 ERA versus right-handed pitcher Stephen Kolek. Am I saying that right?
Kolek? I believe so, yes.
Okay. Stephen Kolek, he's 3-3 with a 3.95 ERA. His last 3 starts at Arizona, at Los Angeles, and versus the Nationals, he's 0-2 with a 6.60 ERA. So not very good outings in his last 3 starts. Hopefully we can jump on him a little bit early and keep the momentum going. I really felt good about jumping out on him early today too, but that didn't work out quite as well. So hopefully tomorrow will go a little bit better. He relies on 7 pitches. He's got a whole plethora of pitches. He's got a 4-seamer, that he throws predominantly 26% of the time. He's got a sinker and a slider, changeup, sweeper, curveball. So never really know what's coming out of his hands. Fastball averages at about 94.1. Active Reds against Kolick, we are 1-4. Not a whole lot of experience against Kolick. Lux is 0-2. Espinal is 1-1, and Tyler Stevenson is 0-1. So not a lot of going to be a lot of first timers facing Kolick tomorrow. So hopefully we can jump on him and he can keep his bad starts going here. Keep that streak rolling.
Well, and as we saw today, you better get on him because you got 5 2/3 of one hit, no run baseball from the Padres bullpen after Vasquez was chased today. He gave up all 4 runs that were put on the board by the Reds, and so this bullpen, once it gets to, it feels rough, but once it gets past the 6th or 7th inning, you better have your damage done because it's going to be tough to play out on late. Although we were able to do it on Friday night, but that's also with the back end closer being suspended last night after hitting Ohtani in what was just one of the wildest back and forths between the Tatis. Then they hit Ohtani, and Ohtani goes over and plays peacemaker and keeps it from being an all-out brawl. So kind of a wild scene. Not sure how I feel about it, but I think Ohtani's back on the mound today, one of the faces of baseball, and seems like an all-around good guy. But to hell with them, to hell with the Dodgers, and to hell with anybody that's not a Cincinnati Red, because tomorrow we're coming out looking for a series win. We're looking to take 2 or 3 from the San Diego Padres. It feels like a bigger importance tomorrow night too, just because you can still ride the momentum from what Friday night gave you. Friday night was such a special evening at the ballpark and a special game for these Reds, and it feels like a cornerstone moment of the season that we'll remember and look back on fondly for years. But if we lose 2 or 3 in the series, it's not all for naught, but at the same time, it's just another night in the ballpark in terms of how things played out. But if this is the 2 or 3 that you take from the Padres, and one of them is that night, and that leads you to a playoff performance, last night lives in a little bit higher lore, and I think that's what we all want to see. That's what Nick Martinez deserves. That's what Spencer Steer deserves. And I can't wait. Tomorrow's the biggest start of Nick Lodolo's career. He may feel it, he may not. And part of my problem with Nick Lodolo is I'm not sure that I don't know where it's. I don't know how pumped up he is. He's not a guy that shows a ton of emotion. I'm a guy that wears everything on my sleeves. And so I like seeing dudes get fired up. I like watching the Chase Burns at Wake Forest, Chase Burns at Tennessee clips where he's coming off the mound screaming and absolutely jazzed up. Give me all that energy. Give me that college baseball back and forth. Give me the Dominican League stuff where guys are bat flipping the ball or bat flipping to the moon and pitchers are striking dudes out and doing full on breakdance. I'm here for it. I'm all for the bat flip. I'm all for the excitement. This is a game that needs more of an energy injected into it. Nick Lodolo is not the guy that brings that to the table. I would love to see a little bit more of that. But if he gets out and cruises dominantly, I don't care if he says a word. If he gives us 7 innings of 1-run baseball and we go out and win this game 5-1 because we're going to mash this dude as a starter and get things set up and ready to go.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Let's get this thing going. He is a man. He doesn't get very high or very low. You can never really tell exactly what's going on. But there's part of me that likes that. I like that act like you've been there before approach. So if you're not getting too high and too low, you never get the other lineup too routed up either one way or the other. So I kind of like his even keeled approach, his go to work, no nonsense kind of business. But whatever it takes, let's get him cranked up. Sacrifice the chicken or whatever it is we got to do, like they were talking about in major leagues. Whatever we got to do, let's get it cranked up and get it going, and let's have a good day at the ballpark for my guy. And let's get him some run support too.
I'll take the smelling salts down. I'll bring the smelling salts with me. I'll make sure he's got it. He'll get the whiff of ammonia and it'll be ready to roll. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you have a chance. It's a 1:40 start tomorrow down at Great American. Reds versus Padres. Nick Lodolo on the bump. A series is in the balance. A season seems to be in the balance, but I hope to see you down there. We enjoy everybody coming in and joining us on a weird time on a Saturday with a weird 4:10 start. But the celebration of the guys, from 50 years ago, the 1975 World Championship team was honored today pregame. And also we do, condolences to Dave Parker and his family, as we found out before the game. That Dave Parker has passed away today, I believe at the age of 76, if I'm not mistaken. I'd hate to get that wrong, but Dave Parker, a Reds legend as well as a legendist in the game of baseball. Hall of Famer Dave Parker passes away today. So I want to make sure that we don't end without, saying our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family and what I'm sure is a tough time. Looking forward to getting back on here next weekend with you, Corey. Hopefully, this is a week where we get back into Friday and Saturday. We'll be here for the
Phillies.
we'll
We're at
be
Philly.
here for the Phillies series. So we're at Philadelphia next weekend. Your last home game tomorrow for a week. The Redlegs won't be home again until Monday against Miami on July the 7th. So if you want to get down and see this team and be a part of what seems like a pivotal point in the season, come on down. We'll see you down there. Hope to see you on the concourse. I'll probably be actually. I think my pinstripe hat seems to have a little bit better luck, so I'll probably rock it tomorrow. But if you see me down there, I'll be down by no plate in section 118. So come say hi. We'll grab beers. We'll have some fun. I'll have the boys with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll see you guys down there. Corey T, you got anything else you want to send us home with?
As always, go Reds.